This is the second of a two-part video course that will walk you through the general settings of Assistance PSA. This tutorial will focus on security roles and users. After its completion, you will be able to define your PSA security roles, assign them to a CRM user, and create PSA users. Note that this course is a prerequisite to the configuration of your blueprint. Also note that you will need to have full administration rights in order to complete it. Now, let's go to Assistance PSA. Under Settings, open the System menu. Click on Administration and select Security Roles. PSA will bring you to the module where you can find and/or create the CRM roles of your organization. This is also where you will define Assistance PSA roles. The 3 roles displayed here are delivered out of the box by PSA. Best practice will be to use them as the basis for creating specific roles for your organization. PSA Administrator, as its name implies, will give full access and privileges to the solution. PSA Full User will give full access to the solution but with restricted privileges with regards to the PSA tables. And finally, PSA Limited User will only give access to the time and expenses module of the system. Now, let's create a role for the project managers of your organization. First, make sure that you are in the correct business unit. If not, change it using the drop-down menu. Now check the box PSA Full User, open the menu More Actions, and select Copy Role. Best practice will always recommend leaving intact the standard roles and modifying the copied version only. Once you've entered the name, leave this box checked as you will want CRM to open the new role when the copy is completed. You are now in your new role. Custom Entities is where you will want to go next. You will find here all the tables and functionalities of PSA, including the 2 timesheet options of the solution. You will also recognize the same types of rights and privileges as the ones defined in the other tabs. There is no need for any kind of modification here. Go ahead and save your data, but leave the window opened as we will now take a look at the other tabs. With the exception of the Customization tab, which has been defined to allow connectivity with the timesheet functionality, you will notice that the other tabs have almost totally been left blank. You can choose to also define in this role the CRM access of your project managers, or you can choose to leave this role as is and assign it to a user in combination with a CRM role. It is up to you to decide what the best scenario is for your organization. Just remember that your users will always need CRM access with their PSA roles. In our example, we will leave the role as is. Now save and close the window. Once you've completed the creation of your roles, your next step will be to assign them to your users. To do so, you can either go back to the Administration menu and click on Users, or you can navigate to Assistance PSA and click CRM Users. Both options will bring you to the same user list. Now, select an employee and in the next screen, go to Security Roles. Click on Manage Roles and check the box of PSA Project Manager and CSR Sales Manager. Hit OK. Both roles are now assigned to this employee. You can go ahead and close the window. At this point in time, you have created the security role of your project managers in Assistance PSA and have assigned this role to one of your employees, April Meyer. All that is left for you to do now is define her as a PSA user, which will grant her access to the solution. Click PSA Users. Hit the New button, and in the next screen, select an employee. The creation of a user in PSA requires that you determine if the person should only have access to the time and expenses module of the solution. In such a case, you would check the box Limited User. This does not apply to April Meyer. we will leave the box unchecked. The process also requires that you specify if the person will have approval rights with regards to hours and expenses. In our example, April Meyer will only approve hours and expenses for her own business unit. We will leave the second option unchecked. You have now completed the creation of April Meyer as a PSA user. Save and close the window. You will see her in the list displayed of the table. This concludes the two-part video course on the general settings of Assistance PSA. Let's review now the 4 simple steps that must be done to create them. First, define the specific settings of your organization. Then create the security roles and link them to your CRM users. Finally, create your users in Assistance PSA. You are now ready to create your security roles and users in Assistance PSA. Your next step is to do the exercises defined in the lab settings.